Hello, crafty friends. This is Anya with Ink, Paper, Scissors. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to share today's video with you because I'll be showing several of my favorite techniques for stretching your cover plate dies and getting completely different looks from them. I always love finding ways to get more from the supplies I already own, and cover plates are one of those products that can do so much more than simply create a full background. Sometimes just changing the way you cut, layer, or use them can completely transform the look and give you even more value from your supplies. But before we jump into the card making, I want to share what arrived in my Altenew box this month, show you some beautiful new inks joining my collection, and tell you about a fun freebie that Altenew is graciously offering for my followers. Before we get started, I'd also appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so I can continue bringing you free crafty content like this. I share card making ideas, techniques, and inspiration to help you get more out of the supplies you already own. You'll find all the products I used linked in the video description below. But since YouTube does have a character limit, I've also included everything in my visual supply list. That's where you'll find the full list of supplies along with all the product links in one easy place. Many of the links are affiliate links at no extra cost to you. If you decide to shop through those links, I truly appreciate your support, as it helps support my channel and allows me to continue creating free content and tutorials like this. Now, let's take a look at all the goodies in my box. First up are the nesting Serene Archways. These were by far my favorite product in the box this month. I absolutely love these arch shapes, and you'll see me use them on several cards throughout today's video. Arch dies have become so popular lately, and I love how versatile they are. You can use them to create layered scenes, frames, windows, shaped focal points, shaker cards, or even partial die cuts for a completely different look. I also think they're a great way to instantly add a softer feel and a little extra interest to your card designs. Second up is the Eid Greetings Set. Eid is a celebration observed by Muslims around the world and is a time focused on joy, family, community, and spending time with loved ones. This set includes beautiful greetings that can be used to create thoughtful cards and projects for those special celebrations. Next up is another favorite of mine, the Alhambra Mosaic cover plate. I immediately loved the intricate design on this cover plate. It has a beautiful geometric pattern inspired by traditional mosaic designs, and I think it creates such an elegant background. You can use it as a full cover plate, selectively die-cut portions, layer pieces together, paper piece the openings, or even use sections of it to create entirely different designs. And as you'll see today, cover plates can be stretched much further than we sometimes realize. Then we have the Enamel flower set. This comes as a stamp, stencil, and die set, although I only have the stamp and stencil portion. I think this set would create absolutely beautiful, line-free florals. If you love soft, no-line coloring techniques, this set would be perfect. The layered stencils do all the work for you and create gorgeous floral images with lots of depth and dimension. Next is the Blue Crystals Glitter Cardstock Set. Altenew is graciously giving this glitter cardstock set away completely free for all my followers on orders over $59. One thing I really love about this glitter cardstock is that it has a paper backing, which means it die cuts beautifully and doesn't shed glitter everywhere. To receive this set for free, simply add it to your cart and use the code ANIABLUE at checkout. This offer is valid starting today, May 20th through May 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've included all the details, links, and the code below in the video description for you to make things easy. Now, let's take a look at some of the inks I received. You all know how much I love Altenew inks and how beautifully they blend. But one of my favorite things about them is actually the packaging itself. The round ink pads with screw-on lids are so comfortable to hold. I have smaller hands and arthritis, so I really appreciate products that are easier to grip and open. Today I'm sharing the Warm and Cozy Fresh Dye Ink Set, the Green Meadows Fresh Dye Ink Set, and the Coastal Mist Fresh Dye Ink Set. I'll be showing swatches of all three sets in just a moment, but I can already tell these are going to become some of my favorite colors. The Green Meadows set is absolutely gorgeous if you love greens. These shades remind me of nature, fresh leaves, spring gardens, and foliage. I think these colors will become staples for leaves, florals, and outdoor scenes. And the Coastal Mist set has such soft, calming tones. These colors instantly make me think of the ocean, peaceful skies, and serene backgrounds. I can already tell these shades will become favorites for ink blending and soft layered looks. The Warm and Cozy set has such rich, comforting tones. These colors immediately make me think of autumn projects, warm backgrounds, cozy cards, and earthy color palettes. The shades work beautifully together and have that soft, warm feel that works year-round. Now that we've looked at everything, let's jump right into the card making. Our first technique is what I'm calling the double shape technique. I'm starting out with the Alhambra Mosaic cover plate. I absolutely love how intricate this plate is, and I think sometimes it's hard to fully appreciate all the detail until you actually see it die cut. Once this cuts, you really start noticing all of the beautiful mosaic-inspired details and delicate openings. I already have a million ideas running through my head for ways to use this cover plate on future projects. To begin, I cut a piece of white cardstock to fit the size of the plate and send it through my Anna Griffin Empress die-cutting machine. One thing I really love about this machine is that it handles intricate dies beautifully. I rarely have issues getting clean cuts, even with detailed designs like this one. I also cut into my magnetic mat, which helps apply a little extra pressure and allows the die to cut like butter. Once my panel is die cut, I carefully remove all the little pieces and reveal that gorgeous pattern. I think this design is beautiful enough to stand on its own, and honestly, you could stop right here, add a sentiment, and already have a stunning card. Next, I add liquid glue to the back of the panel and adhere it directly onto an A2 card base. Now I'm pulling out the nesting Serene Archways dies. I grab several sizes and start laying them over my panel just to audition different options and see what feels balanced. I don't want to completely cover up all of that beautiful detail underneath, so I'm looking for a size that adds interest without overwhelming the design. Once I decide on the right size, I grab a leftover panel that had already been partially die cut from a previous project. This panel has some blue splatters on it, and instead of letting it sit in my scrap pile, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to use it. The splatters actually came from an older Altenew video that is already up on my channel, and I'll make sure to link it below if you'd like to see how I created that background. I die cut the arch shapes from that leftover panel and then layer them over my intricate background. I absolutely love how this changes the design. It instantly creates another layer of dimension and draws your eye right to the center of the card. So for this technique, You're essentially layering your cover plate with a completely different shape. It's such a simple idea, but it creates a totally different look. And don't feel limited to arches either. You could use circles, rectangles, ovals, squares, tags, really anything you already have in your craft room. This is a great way to stretch your supplies and create completely new designs without needing anything extra. Next, I'll show you the process of finishing this card using the cute open rose layering die set along with the timeless sentiment set. I'm going to play some music while I assemble everything, but I'll be back in just a bit to walk you through technique number 2. I'm calling technique number 2 cover plate color layering. For this technique, I started by pulling out 3 cardstock colors that I thought would work well together: a bright pink, a soft light pink, and a medium blue. I wasn't completely sure which direction I wanted to go yet, so I like laying out a few options first and seeing what speaks to me once the pieces are cut. I die cut the same Alhambra Mosaic cover plate from 2 of the colors, the bright pink and the medium blue. One of the things I love about cover plates is that sometimes simply changing how you layer them can create a completely different result. You could slightly offset one layer over another to reveal color peeking through all around the edges, which creates a really fun shadow effect. But for this card, I decided to do something a little different. Instead of offsetting the layers, I rotated one of the die cut panels by 180 degrees and layered them together. That slight change completely alters the design and allows parts of the pink to peek through beneath the blue in unexpected places. I always enjoy experimenting with layering like this, because you never fully know what the final look will be until you start stacking pieces together. At this point, I start playing around with the color order, moving the layers around, and auditioning different combinations to see what feels right. I eventually settle on the bright pink layer on top, the rotated blue layer underneath it, and then a white card base in the background. Originally, I thought I might use the softer pink in the design, but once I started layering everything together, I felt like it softened the overall look just a little too much. I really wanted something bold and eye-catching for this card, and the brighter pink gave me that stronger contrast I was looking for. Once I'm happy with the arrangement, I adhere all of the layers together, and honestly, this card really doesn't need much else. The cover plate itself becomes the star of the card. You could absolutely add gems, sequins, or even glitter cardstock accents if you wanted a little extra sparkle, but I was really happy with how this one turned out just as it was. Next, I pull out the Uplifting Sentiments set and look for a greeting that works well with this design. The sentiments in this set are large and bold, which makes them perfect for a background technique like this, because they can easily stand up against all the detail. I'm going to let you sit back and watch the process of how this card comes together, and I'll be back in just a bit for technique number 3. Technique number 3 is called stenciling. Yes, you heard me right. You can absolutely use your cover plates as stencils. I think sometimes we get into the habit of only thinking of cover plates as dies that cut intricate backgrounds, but many of them can actually do double duty. This is one of my favorite ways to stretch my supplies, because you instantly get another completely different look from the exact same product. For this technique, I'm once again using the Alhambra Mosaic cover plate, but this time I'm die cutting it from white cardstock. Once it's cut, I layer the die cut panel over an A2 cardstock panel and use scrapbook.com mint tape to hold everything in place. This tape is low tack, which makes it perfect for techniques like this because it holds things securely while still removing cleanly without tearing your cardstock. Next, I pull out my blending brushes, and for this technique, I'm mostly using whatever leftover ink is already on my brushes. You really don't need a lot of ink for this, and it's a great way to get a little extra use from the ink already sitting on your tools. I'm creating a soft rainbow effect over the panel. I start with yellow and blend it into the upper corner, making sure to extend the color slightly beyond where I think I'll need it. This gives me room for the next color and allows the blends to transition more smoothly. Next, I bring in red and overlap it slightly with the yellow. Where those colors meet, they naturally create orange. Then I move into purple, overlapping it with the red to create those rich pink and magenta tones in between. Next comes light blue. I overlap it with the purple, and where those colors blend together, they create a beautiful deeper blue transition. And finally, I come back in with yellow, overlapping it with the light blue to create some soft green tones and complete my rainbow around the panel. I always think this part is so satisfying because the blending looks pretty while you're working, but you never fully know what it's going to look like until you remove the stencil. Once I'm finished blending, I carefully peel away the mint tape and reveal the background underneath. And I absolutely love this result. One of my favorite things about this technique is that it's almost like getting a 2-for-1 project. Not only do you get the ink-blended background underneath, but you're also left with the die-cut cover plate itself, which now has color around the edges and can be used on another card. I actually did create another card with that leftover piece off camera, and I'll show you the finished card at the end. I'm going to let you sit back, enjoy the music, and watch this card come together, and I'll be back shortly for our final technique today. The last technique is called faux dry embossing. For this technique, I'm once again using the same Alhambra Mosaic cover plate, but this time we're not actually cutting it, just using it to create an impression. I really love techniques like this because they allow you to stretch your cover plates even further and get a completely different look without changing anything in your supplies. I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6 for this. My sandwich is as follows: Platform A, Platform B, the embossing mat, my cardstock, the cover plate placed face down, and then adapter plate D on top. Then I simply run it through my die cutting machine as usual. When it comes out, what you get is a beautiful impression of the design pressed into the cardstock. It almost looks like a subtle dry embossing effect, even though we didn't use a traditional embossing folder. And one thing I always like to mention with techniques like this, if your die ever ends up cutting a little too deeply into your cardstock, you can absolutely experiment with changing your sandwich slightly. Every machine is a little different, so it's worth adjusting until you get that soft, impressed look. I can also imagine this technique would look absolutely stunning on metallic cardstock or shimmer cardstock, where the light would really catch all those impressed details. For today's card, I decided to keep things clean and simple and stick with white cardstock because I really love that soft, airy look where the texture becomes the main focus. To finish off the card, I'm adding the sweet spray florals that I ink blended earlier in the video. I love being able to bring in pieces from earlier techniques. It ties everything together and makes the card feel more cohesive. For the sentiment, I'm using the classic sentiment stamp and die set. This is such a versatile set, and I really love the clean, timeless font. There is also a coordinating better press plate available for this set, which creates a really beautiful pressed impression if you prefer that style instead of stamping. And this wraps up all 4 techniques for today. Here are all the cards I created. I hope you enjoyed seeing how versatile cover plate dies can be when you start stretching them beyond just a simple background. It's amazing how much variety you can get from a single die just by changing how you use it. I'd love to know which technique or card was your favorite. Let me know in the comments below. I'll also link a few more technique videos for you here at the end if you'd like to keep crafting with me and get more inspiration. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Until next time, happy crafting!